Welcome to the Growing Athletes Podcast. I'm your host, Amy Suter. Join me on a journey to unlock potential, chase dreams, and lead authentically fulfilled lives. Together, we'll explore the powerful crossroads of sports, mindset, and personal growth. Prepare to become the next best version of you. I'm Amy Suter, and this is the Growing Athletes Podcast. Before we get started today, I want to let you know about a fun way to personalize what you're about to hear on this podcast. I've created an animal matrix quiz. This helps you discover what type of athlete your child or team member might be, whether they're a lion, fox, dog, or something else. You can find it out at www.amysuiter.com/animal quiz. Amy Suiter, AMYSUITER.com/animal quiz. So feel free right now, pause this episode, take the quiz, and come right back when you're ready. Or if you're driving or deep in another task, no worries. Stick around and listen to the episode, and you can always go back and take the quiz later. Okay, today we're diving into one of the most important tools we have as coaches, parents, and honestly as human beings: communication. Now, here's the thing about communication, especially in sports and athletics. It's not always easy. Sports naturally drive competition, which means successes and failures. And let's be honest, those are all uncomfortable things, and that tends to trigger high emotions, right? Here's the kicker with those emotions. Did you know that 95% of what we think, feel, and do in a day is unconscious? Yep, that means most of the time, we're just running on autopilot. And that goes for our emotions too. Letting the outside world, the circumstances, all those successes and failures, even our past experiences, mostly our past experiences, and even someone else's mood or state of mind that they're in, that's dictating how we think and feel in the moment. Now, this absolutely serves us in some ways, but it can also make us very reactionary, especially when our emotions are high. We start believing that whatever we're thinking or feeling in that moment is the absolute truth. Like when your athlete makes a tiny mistake, yet reacts like the world is ending. They wouldn't consciously, on purpose, choose to react that way, yet that's the automatic 95% unconscious mind that's taken over. It's just how it is. This can put us and our athletes into a mood or a state that's less than ideal, right? And that's when communication really starts to break down. As a coach and parent, I know I always have the best intentions when I'm trying to help my kids or my athletes. But let's be real. How often does that beautiful intention actually come through in my communication and land in the way that I meant it to? Too often, most often, it doesn't. And that's frustrating, not only for us, but for the athletes too. Here's what I've learned. When we, as communicators, become more aware of the state our athletes are in, we can adapt how we approach them. Instead of clashing with their 95% unconscious thoughts and feelings that are currently being driven by the situation, those successes and failures, we can actually connect with them in a way that they can hear us. So, if you've ever felt like your message isn't getting through, or that your good intentions are being lost in translation, this episode is for you. Are you ready? Let's dive in. All right. Now that we've talked about the importance of communication, I'm super pumped to introduce to you a tool that I've created to help you better connect with your athletes, the Animal Matrix. The Animal Matrix is a framework that helps us understand where an athlete is mentally and emotionally, so we can then communicate with them in a way that our message actually lands. Because let's be honest, like I said, how many times have you tried to communicate with your athlete only to feel like the message wasn't even heard? And oftentimes feeling like you made the situation worse. I know as a parent, I fall into that a lot. Here's the thing. Every athlete processes the world differently based on two key factors: how their focus is filtered, inner and outer driven, and their level of confidence, low, moderate, and high. Let's start with the first axis, focus types. On the left side of the matrix, we have athletes who are outer driven. These athletes tend to focus on others first, always considering others' needs before turning their attention and focus back to themselves. Their strengths are in their awareness of others' emotions, their moods, and they have this ability to adapt and connect with others based on this information. Like, this is their superpower. I've coached many outer-driven athletes over the years. All their faces are popping into my head right now. These kids are always tuned into their teammates. If someone made a mistake, they were the first to cheer them on, lift them up, and keep the energy high. They thrived on clear instructions from me. They wanted to know what was going on and in detail. Like, don't keep a practice plan or a why we do what we do from them. They wanted to know it all. They loved knowing exactly what was expected of them, especially the young ones who were still growing in their confidence. I saw a lot of pleasing behaviors with these types of athletes. They relied heavily on collaboration with me. They wanted that sense of playing team. And mostly, they needed a lot of feedback to perform at their best. I had to constantly give them more and more information, more than I thought that they needed. Now, on the other side, the right side of the matrix, we have athletes who are inner driven. These athletes tend to focus inward first. Not that they are selfish, it's just that their filter is looking at their own goals first, right? They're looking at their own progress and their own mindset before considering things outside themselves. Their strengths lie in their self-awareness and their need for independence. I've also coached many inner-driven athletes over the years. And if I'm being honest, they were absolutely the person I looked to in the big situations. However, they were also the ones that kept me up at night. They're the ones who wanted the spotlight and trusted their instincts, yet they needed my guidance and coaching. However, they appreciated it in a very black and white, concise, straight to the point manner. These athletes needed time to reflect, and when given that, they could make incredible adjustments without much external input. After a failure, I had to give them time. They often had big emotions and absolutely did not want to hear me say it's okay. When they felt otherwise, it wasn't okay, especially just in that moment. They thrived when I trusted them to take ownership of their own journey and allow them the freedom to focus on their own processes. All right, now let's move to the second axis. We just talked about left and right, right? The inner and the outer. Now we're going to go to confidence levels. So at the bottom of the matrix, we have athletes with low confidence. And remember, this isn't a bad thing. We all start there with new skills in a new environment. These athletes with low confidence are heavily influenced by external factors, like the outcomes of their performance, the feedback we're giving them, parents, coaches, and even the teammates. They're looking for a sense of approval from outside themselves. Their confidence feels very fragile and definitely depends on the circumstance of every single situation they find themselves in. Okay, in the middle of the matrix, we have athletes with moderate confidence. These athletes are navigating that balance between seeking encouragement and validation from others, right, whilst building in the moment their own confidence and their own abilities from the inside. Their confidence is building, but it's not fully stable yet. It's this balance of inside-outside validation. And at the top of the matrix, we have athletes with high confidence. These athletes are motivated from the inside out. They're unshakable. Their confidence purely comes from within. It's rooted in their preparation, their effort, and mostly their self-belief. Okay, now, when you combine these two axes, focus types, outer driven left, inner driven right, and confidence levels, low bottom, moderate middle, high top, you get 6 unique animal types. All right, now, before we dive into the fun of the different animals, this is the perfect time to pause and take the quiz if you didn't do it at the beginning. Right, head over to www.amysuiter.com/animal quiz. www.amysuiter.com/animal quiz to find out which animal best describes your athlete, where they are today. It's quick and easy, and it's going to give you very personalized insights to make the rest of this episode even more valuable. So go ahead, take a moment to do that, and then come right back to me. We'll be here waiting. All right, here we go. Let me walk you through these 6 athlete animal types. Starting on the outer driven left side with low confidence, we have the squirrel. Squirrel athletes are the go with the flow athletes. They strive to keep the environment happy and often aim to please those around them. Squirrels are in the process of building their confidence, and because they are not always sure of themselves, they tend to struggle with decision making. And for this reason, they are often looking for feedback and approval from others. This hesitancy that they feel usually comes from a fear of failure. They don't want to make mistakes, which can lead to them overthinking, and that's where this indecisiveness comes from. Now, despite these challenges, squirrels bring valuable strengths such as being analytical and detail oriented and seem to love everyone, right? And everyone loves them. To support them, we should focus on providing reassurance, clear and structured guidance. And we have to create safe spaces where mistakes are viewed as opportunities to grow. By practicing patience, positivity, and minimizing the pressure that we put on them, we can help squirrel athletes develop self belief and confidence in their abilities over time. Now, on the same side, the left side, outer driven, the animal with moderate confidence is the dog. Dog athletes are warm, empathetic athletes who thrive on connection. They love encouragement and building positive relationships with everyone around them. While they're growing their self confidence, they often seek validation from others to help strengthen their belief in themselves. See, dog athletes are very loyal and they're driven by those relationships. They're known to create very supportive environments where everyone can succeed. Now, to help dog athletes grow, we should focus on fostering genuine connections, right? We have to offer very consistent encouragement and provide safe space for them to take risks, to build their own confidence. By showing appreciation for them, investing in our relationships with them, and responding with empathy and patience, dog athletes can develop the self trust and resilience needed to reach their full potential. The final animal on the left side, outer driven, with high confidence, is the wolf. Wolf athletes are purpose driven. They have a clear sense of why they are doing what they are doing. They have aligned their actions with a deeper goal or mission that continues to motivate them and give great meaning to their daily effort. Their we mindset also extends to individual sports where they focus on connection, preparation, and mutual support to achieve goals. Wolf athletes are strategic and very supportive. Wolves shine when they have a clear sense of purpose, defined roles, and well-organized plans. However, they may struggle with self-motivation when that collaboration or clear mission is lacking. So, to support wolf athletes, we should emphasize their impact on the greater good, on that mission. Foster collaboration through shared goals and always with a clear purpose. We should provide consistent support and offer clear, very clear, strategic guidance to keep them motivated and aligned with their own purpose. Now, moving over to the inner driven right side, starting with low confidence, we have the fox. Fox athletes are cautious and clever athletes who value consistency, honesty, and respect. They're often guarded due to past experiences of mistrust and being let down. And because of this, they tend to be overly observant and oftentimes skeptical. They are known to test boundaries to determine who they can trust. Foxes thrive under confident, steady leaders who guide with clarity and patience. And maybe the most important is that this leader isn't afraid to hold them accountable, to taking ownership of their growth. Foxes really respect those who hold them accountable. To support fox athletes, we should lead with confidence, remain consistent, communicate directly, and build trust through honesty and transparency. Expecting them to take responsibility empowers foxes to grow and develop trust over time. Now, on the same side, the right side, the inner driven, the animal with moderate confidence is the cat. Cat athletes are independent and hold themselves to high standards, often being self-critical as they constantly reflect and strive to meet their own expectations. They're building their confidence but still rely on external reinforcement to support their growth. While they're internally driven, Their confidence can be inconsistent, and they may seem distant or preoccupied as they often direct their attention to what matters most to them, not necessarily the situations others are seeing. Cats value their personal space. They prefer to engage with others on their own terms, and they tend to prioritize their needs over the outside world's needs. So, to support cat athletes, we should respect their independence. We must use clear and concise communication and encourage self awareness to help them stay present and engaged. Patience and positivity are key, as cats thrive when given the time and space to grow at their own pace. Okay, the final animal on the right side, inner driven with high confidence, is the lion. Lion athletes are bold and confident athletes who thrive under pressure. They are driven from the inside out to perform at their best, and they prefer to lead through their actions rather than their words. Lion athletes demand significance, not out of insecurity, but because they feel as if they have earned it through their actions and dedication. Lions are very competitive. They have massive courage and make very clear and quick decisions. Because of this, they shine in critical moments, always setting the standard for excellence. However, they can face challenges when their significance isn't acknowledged or their role isn't respected. Okay, to support lion athletes, we should recognize their contributions, communicate with clarity and confidence, and provide solution-focused guidance after mistakes while maintaining the lion athletes' dignities. Do not embarrass lions. Lions value respect, recognition, and efficient interactions that honor their time and efforts. All right, you guys, the goal of the animal matrix is simple: to understand where your athlete is right now and adjust your communication style so they can actually hear you. Because here's the thing: if you try to talk to a dog athlete like a lion athlete, the message isn't going to land. Dog athletes thrive on structure, connection, and constant feedback, while lions thrive on independence and pushing limits. These require two completely different approaches. This matrix helps us as coaches, parents, and humans to meet athletes where they are and communicate with them in a way that truly resonates. And remember, your athlete isn't confined to one animal type forever. Most people tend to stay on one side of the matrix, inner or outer, depending on the role they are playing in life. Their animal changes as their confidence grows. This example with my son: as a brother, he's on the outer-driven side, moving between dog and wolf, while as an athlete, he's firmly on the inner-driven side, progressing from fox to cat. See, as confidence rises in these roles, they're likely to move up the confidence scale while staying on the same side of the matrix. Crossing over from inner to outer, or vice versa, is rare and typically happens only when athletes reach the top, as lions and wolves, and then they're becoming amazing leaders. This is why it's so important to understand where your athlete is today, so you can support their growth and help them reach their full potential. And here's the exciting part: we're just getting started. In the coming episodes, we'll dive even deeper into each animal type. So whether you're curious about the independent and sassy cat athletes, the loyal and relationship-driven dog athletes, or the clever and strategic fox athletes, there's so much more to uncover. We'll explore their strengths, challenges, and specific strategies to help you better communicate with them both on and off the field. All right, so before you go, if you haven't already, make sure to check out the Animal Matrix quiz to discover which type of athlete you currently have at www.amysuiter.com/animal quiz. www.amysuiter.com/animal quiz. Plus, once you finish the quiz, you'll get access to a free and fun quick guide tailored to your athlete's type. I can't wait to continue this journey with you. I'll see you next time. I am so grateful you chose to spend your time here with me today. Thank you. To learn more about growing athletes and to get access to today's show notes, visit me at amysuiter.com. Always remember, both you and your athletes have everything you need inside of you to achieve anything you set your minds to. So go out there and pursue those dreams relentlessly. And keep in perspective,
It's who you become on this journey that really matters, as our dreams will always expand at the exact same rate as our personal growth. I love you all, and I will talk to you next week.